All right. We're a few minutes away from the start of the 2019 Pro Chess League season, and hopefully you can hear my co-anchor tonight. If not, I'm going to sound freaking crazy as I'm having a dialogue with expert Darcy Lindy joining us again. Used to be from Chicago, now back again in Atlanta, I think. I don't know. He moves around. So, Darcy, can you say anything? Yeah, I can't hear you at all. I see your lips moving. I get nothing. Crap. That sucks. Well, maybe you can problem solve that and see if we can't get that audio working again. In the meantime, I want to talk a little bit about the lineup. Hopefully, the stream can be seen okay, and Darcy's helping me troubleshoot that before the games start going. Does the board look all right and everything? Don't use your words. Use your nods. Okay, good. It looks good. Well, it's not going to look good when I go over to the Miami Champions Pro Chess League page, which is the place to be at for all of the information on the Pro League. So, basically, this week we're playing against the Webster Windmills, and they have a beastly lineup. Ooh, look at that. That's kind of crazy. I can see myself. There's a feedback loop. It's like, if I go like that, I'll see myself in a second. Sorry. Well, with Webster, they did the triple stack lineup, whereas they got Laquan Liam, who I had the displeasure of playing against last season, and he handed my butt to me in exotic fashion, well enough that Chess.com, in their article summaries of the matches, decided to mention it. So I appreciate that. Appreciate you. Along with two other 2,600 rated players, and then rounding out their lineup with a 1,900. We, on the other hand, are fielding a little bit more well-rounded of a lineup. We got our second highest rated seed, Mr. Seth Rahman, who's 2673 on board 1. Our all-star from last season, GM at Turizaga at 2636 on board 2. And on board 3, we got the ever so dangerous I am Alex Katz. He did some work in his last tournament, having a draw with none other than Webster's board 1. So maybe there's reasons that we're sending him back in to face this lineup. And then we're rounding out the lineup with Jan Mueller, who is a local boss, and he handles his business. That 2100 FIDE will definitely be going up as soon as he gets the opportunity to play FIDE. There just aren't many opportunities. With a USCF rating of over 2300, I do know that. So, lovely. We got something going, and Jan is in a Grunfeld against board 1 Laquan Liam. So just for the playback, very solid, straightforward position for Jan. And he went for a very equal variation. I can't blame his choice here. I like what he did. Okay, let's bounce over. Let's see, I've got Mr. Katz against Nischuk. And I'm going to butcher names. I'm from Alabama. I will go ahead and apologize for that. But looks like a very, very solid Caro-Kann choice. And White's got a reasonable position. I don't know. It looks very equal, but I mean, this is one of those that you look at the computer with it, and it's going to go, yeah, maybe a little bit better. Probably Bishop D3 here, because if you go Bishop B3, you're going to run into Rook takes E2. And I'm not quite sure what's happening there, because if Queen takes, you lose the exchange. Or maybe he saw that, and I'm just missing something here. Rook takes E2, Bishop takes D6 in between move. He moves this rook, you move your bishop. Yeah, that's what I'm missing. So it's bad when that happens. So Katz is playing, Jan is playing, Seth Rahman is playing. What about a Turizaga? So let me go ahead and check on that, because doing commentary is great, but having all of our players play is more important. Looking. Well, I haven't gotten a message from the Pro Chess League yet, so this leads me to believe that it's the board 4 on their, or board 3 on their end. Okay, it's got him as idle. Have started. Alright, so I think we're good because Iturzaga is online, he's just idle, so I'm going to assume that it is his opponent. So let me check and see what's going on with Seth Rahman, and it looks like he chose one of my favorites, Sicilian Taimanov. I played it in year 1 of the Pro Chess League against Eric Hansen, one of the Chess Bra faithful. We're going to be facing off with the Chess Bras, I believe, next week. Go ahead and bounce over and check that. Yeah, we're going to be playing against the Chess Bras next week, so that'll be a big matchup. And it looks like a pretty typical Sicilian position. I'm most curious about how solid Jan is doing, because I feel like stuff could be happening. Let's bounce back. So we got this solid position, and now, in response from Iturzaga. Okay. Yep. Iturzaga's in good position, so we're not too worried about that. Let's see. Yep. Bouncing around on my windows. Okay. I got to get better at this whole commentary thing. So, let's see what Jan did in his game. Looks all solid. F4. Seems, no Skype calls anymore. Seems kind of presumptuous. F4, Bishop G4, and what is going on here? Seems like you're going to have a pretty serious problem with the E3 pawn coming up, because what I'm foreseeing is something like Bishop G7, and you wait. And then how are you going to handle the E3 pawn? Okay, you stop F5 by playing F5 yourself. Jan's position definitely isn't busted. It's good. Like, I got nervous for him for a second. What about like Bishop H6 there though? Instead of Rook A D8. I don't know, that looks tough for Jan. I think F4 was the moment. So after knight d5, was F4 completely necessary? Can we just go with something solid like bishop takes e5 and queen c2? But we did talk before the match, and we said go all for it, and he went all for it with F4. So I can't exactly fault him too much, but with the tactics, we are in an interesting position. So, all right, next up, got Katz against Nuzchuk, and we got a solid position. Okay, I've got like 15 people messaging me. Yeah, Darcy is going to phone in. There we go. Problem solving at its finest. When you can't make technology work from incompetence, you make technology work for you. The phone. All right. No. No, you don't understand. Call the normal way. I'm going to do better with this. See, when you run home from teaching all day and then have to throw all this together, it just never seems to work out very well. Hopefully you hear the ringing.
I was just getting to that.
Okay, yeah, because the Skype call. All right. So, what do you think about what's happening with some of these positions? Well, the one I currently have up.
1 second.
Yeah.
I'm hearing you both on my computer and the phone, so I need to fix that.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely want to mute the audio on the computer. I feel like Noschuk got what he wanted with black out of the opening, but it's a very, very solid position. I mean, I'm feeling like knight g3 here, and then b3, and it's kind of like pawn structures that I've gotten playing the Alekhine defense. It's interesting.
Yeah. So the question is only white beat better? Like, is the what I understood about these positions is that you have the queenside majority unless the d pawn is weak.
Yeah.
So can white be worse here? Is what I would ask.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward plan with just going b3 and doubling the rooks on the d file, and then just eventually trying to slam through, right?
Yeah. So that's what Nishna is doing.
Interesting. Okay.
But king f1, that's interesting. He wants to
Yeah.
trade a pair of hooks. Which makes sense.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit awkward though, because f5 makes a lot of sense too, to play f4 to kick the knight to somewhere weird.
Or maybe just play knight e2.
This is fair. If you're going to go knight e2, you need to do it now. Or do you? I don't know. It's hard to say.
Were you worried about f3? But yeah, but the queen takes f3.
Yeah. f3 isn't a threat right now. It's just like f4. I don't know. Let's bounce over to see how Seth Rahman is doing, and we've got a pretty typical Sicilian. Rolling it back some.
This is Thurman?
Yeah.
Okay. And I missed some of it. What was the detail about Shirazaga? It's on their end?
So I'm pretty sure it's on Webster's end. I think he was supposed to be playing Shimanov, yeah. Because I've got Iturazaga online as idle, and I haven't heard from the chess.com people, so typically that means that it's on their end.
Right, and Shimanov isn't online that I can see. So, we take those?
Yeah, we definitely take the free ones. I mean, anytime my opponent doesn't show up and I'm playing to win, I'm happy. So, yeah. Oh, I wish he could just not show up at all. But if something bad's happened, I'm going to feel like a complete, bad word entered there. So, hopefully nothing negative has happened to him. It's just technical issues.
Wait, I did a search of his name. He is online, so maybe, yeah, there must be some difficulty.
Yeah. Okay. Like I'm double checking my phone too, and I'm not getting anything from chess.com. So typically I would have gotten something from them by now. Let me. All right, just checked with the Pro Chess League staff on the channel, as we have a nice special channel.
Nice.
So hopefully they'll get back to me as we are looking at. Let's go back to see how Jan is holding up. And yeah, I mean, clearly from the solid opening choice that the Kwang Liam had, Jan definitely is getting just slowly ground out here.
Rook D2 here looks just really bad.
Or that.
Or Rook D3.
Yeah, you can continue piling. Yeah. So we're definitely, I feel like, high probability losing this one.
Yeah, he's got the pawn already at Colchis, so.
Yeah, pawn in hand plus superior position. Like, every piece is better. Okay, so f4 did happen in the game after rook e1. And f3 is, like, it was my hallucination when we were looking at this position before, because I thought that was like rook takes d4 or something. Okay, so if b3, what is the plan? So b3, so I can play queen d2 to move my knight.
I like B3. It makes a great deal of sense.
So
if you play queen D2,
F3.
Insert F3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but B3 regardless.
Yeah, you got to do that to just shore up the c pawn. I feel pretty good about the solidity of the position, because really White's only main weakness is the d4 pawn, and it's not really ever going to be a serious weakness.
Yeah. So instead of queen D2, queen D3.
Queen c3, absolutely. That's definitely an improvement.
Yeah, and then knight f4 would be threatened.
So I feel like I Am Cats is doing what he should be doing with White. So that's good. All right, how are we doing? So the 1900 is doing exceptionally well. I mean, rook d8. Do I want to trade here?
Well, yeah, that's a great question.
Wow, what even happened here? Okay, so
I missed all of this game, so.
right, and all this is making sense. Okay, so he elected to go for rook d8. Now, should you be playing something like h6 here? Or f6? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. He can't go knight e4 to get over there yet. And okay, so White's just playing solidly. I like rook takes d2 and then h5. Black can begin to slowly outplay his opponent, I feel like.
He doesn't have much choice either, because we can't trade off everything and we can't give away the d file.
Right. Yeah, if you play something like rook e8 here, rook d7, and it looks over. So I feel like the move's got to be rook takes d2, and then with the queen off of that diagonal, we're playing h5 to then, just keep pushing the h-pawn until we've made some weaknesses in the position. I don't know. This is where, like, I wish we could set something up to have.
I was about to say queen e4 also, just because it has some mate threat.
Yeah.
And so he'll play like h3 or something, or not, because we don't want to lose b3. queen d1, queen takes d3. So instead, plays what? Okay. Reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna play like.
You go back to make sure that he doesn't get the d7 square?
Queen f5.
I don't know. If queen f5, queen d7?
Then queen c2. We don't have the same checkmate problem.
Yeah, that's fair. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, is this a season where you're getting the good moves right?
Honestly, it's the season where I'm going to get the squares right.
The squares right, okay.
Don't worry about the moves after that.
I see. All right, so going back to Jan, let's see. I mean, he's still fighting, respect, but this is going to be painful torture at this point. Yeah. He fought the good fight.
Yeah, he's probably. It's got to be a knockout like queen h. Oh, sorry, queen h4 is not a knockout. But something soon. Queen g5.
All right, so let's see how. Okay. He did, after knight c8, go queen d2. He wasn't worried about f3. And now f3 is being played.
Interesting.
It's double-edged. Black is clearly playing to win.
Yeah, because you want to be able to play something like g3 and then pick up the pawn later, but I imagine that h3 becomes so weak that you can't hold on to it without letting a queen in or something.
I'm interested to see what he's going to do because, like, yeah, knight f5 and then the knight can negotiate eventually somehow to get to f4. I don't know. Like, okay, I would play g takes f and then trade a set of rooks and try to trade as many heavies as possible.
If g takes f, then we have queen h4.
And king g2?
And like knight f5. I don't know. I guess there's no way to get in.
Yeah, with the queen on h4, the knight also can't be on h4, so I'm not too worried. And I mean, in the long term, white has prospects of playing d5. Yeah, I think this is a... I may be horribly misevaluating this position, but I like this position for white, even though...
yeah. Oh, black does it. It's a pawn, it's a pawn.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the structure may be ruined, but this is a good-looking position for the first player. And I'm looking to see... Terzaga is still online.
Has he messaged you personally?
No. Well, yeah, I messaged him to make sure everything was going well, and that was the plan. Got it.
Ah. I missed that.
So what do you do here? Queen e3 and...
No, queen e3 is good too. Knight e4 also.
Knight e4, I was like, maybe the knight gets in the way, but queen e3 seemed forcing to me. I don't know. It's hard to evaluate these types of positions.
You're right. Queen e3 is more forcing. I like that better.
And I mean, if he takes, of course, like it fixes your pawn somewhat, and you're going to be relatively equal. But okay.
Yeah, he shouldn't take. Yeah, that would actually be the only one to make a pass pawn.
Yeah. So you have the hard choice here. I mean, you should be considering queen e8 check with the idea of knight e4.
Then knight e4. I'm worried about the knight and queen attacking my king, though. I would
Right.
take the queen.
Yeah. Okay, so knight d6. Black's playing fast. He either knows it's a dead draw and knows this is the only way to try to win.
Or it was forced.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there was knight to c8.
Okay. I am worried that Katz will stay a little bit too relaxed here because there is a pretty serious time difference. He needs to...
yeah, Black is slightly better.
Yeah.
Structurally. Yeah, and the time is going to be the biggest factor, you're right, absolutely. They have 2-second increments?
Yeah, 2-second increment.
So, Jan is still playing.
Yeah, let's look.
He's not a quitter.
Oh, he's definitely not a quitter. I mean, he's dead lost, but he keeps fighting. He is using every single move. I guess we're having a competition of who can lose to Laquan worst. Okay, so back to what's going on with Setherman. And just to recap the position a bit, we left the position at queen f5, and then g5 was played. And did he just... No, he didn't hang it, because he can... Yeah, you can take on b3.
Yeah, but this is definitely not the game that the Redman thought he was going to get.
No.
From Joshua Grabinski.
Queen takes b3 is like a must. Yeah. This looks really hard for white, though. This seems to be like the breaking point from my eyes, anyway, because what does white do?
I don't know, because all of the pawns are weak.
Yeah, like everything's weak. Like an example line's like queen d7, you can then go bishop takes g5.
Okay, first result in, like, Wang Liam did pull out.
Yep.
Oh,
So yeah, Laquan did some work, but you know, when board 1 plays board 4, it happens.
yeah.
So good fight from Jan, though. I mean, I feel like he definitely went for a line that objectively is equal, but then that turning point in the game, I felt like knight e4 not so bad, but this f4 move, and then he started having some serious problems after that. I feel like more than likely after knight d5, bishop takes b2, or I mean bishop takes e5, and then maybe something like rook d4, and you have a game.
Not to interrupt, but
Uh-huh.
Katz was down to 10 seconds or less.
Oh, wow.
Trouble. And I think losing a pawn.
Yep. Okay, so when we left it, he went c5, and then... Yeah, this is looking busted because Nischuk has not used any time, and Katz went into the tank. And this looks lost so many different ways in this knight and pawn in-game now for white. Starting off with if knight f3 check, and then knight g1, and you just go back, that seems pretty good too.
Yeah, Nizhnuk's just playing so fast.
Yeah.
He knows. And a5 super precise.
Yep. f4, f3, f2.
Yeah, he wants to take on c6, but even if he invests all that time, he'll just Nizhnuk will sacrifice pawn.
Oh yeah. If knight takes c6, I mean, you could probably even play knight takes c5 there. And, yep. So that was very well played by Neschuk from a position that both of us optically were like, yeah, this is great. So that's what 2600s do, though, man. They're good. So I still got a Turzhaga as idle. So I'm wondering what's happening there. I need to open up a second game, I think, because it happens when I close one down. Window looks weird.
Yeah, that's so strange. They're both online.
And then, like, when I sent a message to the Pro League, I asked why the Turzhaga game hasn't started yet. I got no response. So
that's bizarre.
About that. So looks like let's go back to that point to where queen takes b3 happened. That's where we left off. And okay, he played g6.
Right.
Interesting practical move. But then things just began to fall apart for him at that point. Nice clean play from black.
Yeah, I don't see any problems here. The pawn pushing down to b1. But yeah, so he unpinned the bishop. I imagine he... Okay. White just wants perpetual in h8.
Yep.
Okay, well, I think queen e5 check will be played. Oh, maybe not, because then you have to stop queen h8 and protect the c pawn again. Okay, so the queen's gonna come back to c7. Maybe we'll have some funny triangulation.
Huh.
Queen c5 is playable too. Yeah, so we got the triangulation. White has to move now.
Yeah. Something like king f6.
That's what he did already, yeah.
And then with the idea of queen e5 check, of course.
Right, that's what happened last time.
Oh, okay, I missed that. Oh, okay, so yeah, he's just professionally dancing the dance right here.
I hope that he does this, and I hope that it's brilliant, because that'd be amazing. King g7 again.
And he's just forcing white to move.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have a change. White's not having that anymore.
Yeah.
Queen e5? So?
Probably queen c5 would be my first choice.
Why hasn't he played that already, though? Because he doesn't have to keep playing king f7. He could have tried to trade queen if he wanted to.
Okay.
Maybe bishop d6.
I thought about bishop d6, but I mean, of course, making the guy sweat
Yeah.
about the c pawn.
Maybe there was some problem like queen b7 followed by knight e4.
Queen f3.
Okay, no.
No checks. I think that's what he's doing. He's just like, no counterplay, no problems. Okay.
Okay, he can.
C2. And then if queen h7, king e8, and then check, king d7, and over. Don't flag. Okay, what are you doing? King g7.
Okay, yeah, I still believe.
Queen takes a4.
Or queen e2. Oh, king g6. Queen e2?
Mm-hmm. Queen e2. Queen e2 was a winner. Oh, wait, no, he had knight f2. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, this is good enough.
Speed. Speed. Move. Let's go. Oh my god. Oh, I can't watch this right now. I can't watch this. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Great. That's going to be on freaking every site.
He is so good at blitz. What happened? That's an... Goddamn.
Yeah. So that's probably top 5 most disgusting things I've ever seen on the Pro League. I don't believe I've seen a upset like that before. Yeah, pretty disgusted. And then I'm like expecting some news. So, yeah, the game with the Turazaga never started, and it's not on the spreadsheet, so I don't know. But that really, really sucked. That one stings bad. I don't like that.
That's... Well, yeah, right now, we have no points.
Yeah, we're at no points. That's... Whereas we were better off before the first round started, so with no points.
Yeah, I don't think Sotherman has a connection problem. I mean, you can ping the username and it says 114 milliseconds.
Yeah,
It's pretty normal.
and this was a situation where he just needed to run. This is a panic situation, not a flag situation.
Right.
Because, like, what's even happening here? You do that to pick up time on the clock. And then if I run, am I not just going to be able to get to a point to where the queens are going to cover me when I get to the second rank? So I feel like this was still a trivial win. Just needed to play fast.
Yeah, it has to be.
I mean, just don't see it. Like, I mean, I'm just giving an example, but yeah, that was a really tough round. We turned some decent looking positions into doo-doo really easily. So,
Yeah.
first round though, we got 3 rounds left to play, and hopefully Um, teams chatting between games. Letting them know what happened. All right, games are starting up. All right, so Shimonov is now live. So what happened? I mean, did we get a?
Yeah, I'm clear.
I mean, if we didn't get a forfeit for round one, I'm going to be more than upset because we definitely deserve it after the way things are going. God.
Yeah. We definitely need it. Yeah.
So. Shimonov looks like he's going for the H6 G5 stuff. We've looked at this type of stuff before. Caruana had a few games in this.
Yeah, I guess it's still really mainline theory. I mean, this became prominent a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
And everyone, have there been any other changes to it? I have never looked into it.
I can't remember there being many games for a while in this stuff. I found it interesting for Black, but I didn't look into it very thoroughly, theoretically.
I guess, yeah, I know that Shankman has played it before. Anybody who's played the Caracan has played it before. So I imagine it's just still another position that's slightly better for white.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's jump over to how Katz is doing against board one, and it looks like
It was a
4 knights.
4 knights.
Okay, a Petrov. Gotcha. What color did Katz have against him in the recent tournament, if you know?
I think he had white.
Oh, okay. What to do here?
Yeah, here I guess play d6 and play like knight e7, knight g6.
Okay, if d6, bishop g5, is this one of those positions where it's okay to play h6 g5?
Could also just start with h6.
If you start with h6, he can take on c6 and take on e5.
Oh, right. Yeah, good call.
Okay, so now if h6 is probably bishop takes c6 and knight e2. It's like these positions, they're like a maze with what you can do. Even though they're symmetrical, when you break symmetry, it's knowing what plan is best. These are extremely difficult positions. Katz definitely needs to pick up the pace in his games, because on move 7, when you've used this much of your time, it's not good.
Can you play bishop g5 here?
I guess he's prepared to accept the double pawns.
Yeah, he wants. Yeah, I guess it's bishop g5. You play like c6.
Yeah, bishop g5, c6, and if the light square bishop moves, knight d7, or yeah, I think this position's okay for
well,
black.
bishop moves, you play knight g6 and then h6.
Oh yeah. That definitely works.
Okay.
This makes sense. And say, like, this is the thing. Like, if you don't know exactly what you're doing with white here, you just get nothing. But I imagine Laquang has a little bit of knowledge of this type of position. Okay.
Yeah, now it resembles one of those Berlin positions.
Yeah.
With the d3.
Definitely Berlin-esque. So what, like c6, rook e8?
Yeah, c6 is probably fine. I don't think that d6 pawn matters in terms of like a weakness. And he's definitely better than a6 if we're gonna spend time taking the bishop away. Because a6 doesn't help anything else. But I do like d6.
Okay, let's go over to Iturrizaga for his first game of the day. And he's getting a very Englishy position.
Yeah, he's doing Iturrizaga things.
Very much so doing Iturrizaga things.
So taking the knight voluntarily. So he has the d5 square. That's
Yep. I mean, this looks like a plus equals position. Good knight. Bad pawn on d6. Bad pawn on b6. This looks pretty rough right now.
Yeah, I wonder if he just takes on e6 and then plays like knight f4.
After that, probably bishop g5.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely like White's position there. I think he's got a good...
I trust Iturrizaga's gonna...
Yeah, he loves these types of positions. I mean, I love studying his games because I try to emulate his play with these types of things, and he's a beast. Let's see what we've got going. How's the Caro-Kann where we left it? Let's see. We were about rook c1, somewhere close to here. And I miss the good old days when people used to play the Caro-Kann against us and they just lost on the spot because Dominguez was playing for us. Dude, Dominguez is a buzzsaw versus the Caro-Kann. He played the advanced, I want to say, in all the games and just destroyed his opponents.
Reminder for you, type in like an exclamation point into one of the chats if you don't get logged out.
Oh yeah, that's a good call. We'll see how Jan is doing. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm not so familiar with this really bishop g5 in the exchange slot. It looks interesting. And Jan's really aggressive in all of his games. Like he shoving the speed pawn down without doing any sort of castling or anything.
Yeah.
So a7.
Yeah, the d5 pawn is extremely weak, though. This is like the ideal Alekhine position, colors reversed. You get these types of things in the Trompowsky.
Yeah, this is really good for white.
Yeah, this looks crushing for white, positionally. Oh, he had his moment with black to push the b pawn, but as you said, I think it was overly optimistic. But it's really hard to see. Like, I don't agree with taking the e pawn just off of feeling. This is a line that Perelstein likes to play a lot. I remember he had a lecture on chess.com on this probably 7 years ago or so.
Yeah, I agree. I think taking back with the G pawn would have been.
And then you just play solid chess. G takes f6, e6, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to.
I guess we're back to cat.
Yeah. This looks pretty reasonable.
It looks like he's equalized.
Okay, rook takes e3.
Mm-hmm.
Knight takes d5. Or do you take with a pawn?
Good question. Yeah, I imagine you don't have any sort of queen b6 or anything.
If knight takes d5, was there just e4 and you lose?
Oh.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Well, you could have. I wonder. He could have played e4. Oh, but then there's b6 correction. Okay, so this is good. Yeah, it's c2. If you don't play bishop d3, I guess you do.
Okay, queen e7, and then rook e8, and should be alright here, right?
Going to knight f5 is also decent.
Okay, maybe knight
Not
c6,
bad.
and then go d4,
Okay.
something like this.
Okay. d4 is interesting, but can we get the pawn back?
Yeah, it's a good question. After d4, if e takes d4, knight b4, and I felt comfortable there, but if d4, knight takes d4, I mean, if everything trades, rook d8, and I think we're probably better with black.
Well, we can't just play d4 here. We can't recapture. He's got 3 defenders.
No, yeah, I'm saying it with him capturing. So, like, what line? Like d4, or what is he taking with?
The pawn.
Okay, and then knight b4.
To which square?
b4.
Oh, b4. Okay. I got the B's and D's.
Gotcha.
I was very confused. Like, Brian, you can't just give away your knight like that.
Yeah. And then the follow-up, you just blockade or take on d3. It's interesting. But I can't fault him for going queen e7. And him accepting the double pawns is really quick there.
Does he play queen d4 here? I guess not. I guess knight takes b6.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. Rook f3.
yeah, you got to worry about the a7 pawn too. So what does he do here? a6 or b6?
I like a6.
a6 makes more sense because of b5. Maybe you can tickle the knight at some point or something.
Yeah, I think.
But what are you doing? Because isn't this losing a pawn?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I forgot about the defense one. Apparently, good. Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's freaking out, as he should be. What's best here?
I think you just need counterplay. Like a6, knight takes. Oh, but then f7's the problem. Yikes.
Yep.
Okay, so I think we have to let him just take on a7, let the queen get misplaced somehow. So we play like queen d6, and if queen takes a7, we play like queen b4. I imagine that has some practical chances. I guess then there's queen a3, but or not. Then you would double the pawns and play rook a8. So maybe I think that if you're going to give away a pawn, it's not the d pawn. You got to give away the a pawn, and then you got to get counter chances because you're losing.
Okay, so
But like,
I mean, I would probably play queen e6, queen takes a7, queen a6 here, and but yeah, that's definitely going to lose because he just goes king king f2 and rook f5.
Yeah, that's why I like queen d6, because I wanted to get some counterplay with the queen.
Yeah, I think you just got to bite the bullet here because yeah, if you lose the d pawn, the game's over. But it is also the question of if you allow the d pawn to fall and we go into this type of stuff. I mean, if you gave away the a pawn, the d pawn's still going to be weak. He's still going to be able to play rook f5 and poke it later. He can just go back and reset the position. So maybe this is the better way to go and just suffer.
Yeah, no, he has tenacious. As long as he plays faster.
Yeah. I mean, he had a long think there, so...
Yeah, he's picked up the day.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see how Jan's doing. And we'll go back through. He had the b-pawn madness pushes, and then...
He's down a pawn, but he's made complications.
Okay. It's definitely worse, but it's not busted yet. It's getting closer.
Yeah, so I guess rook g1 is coming. And then he should be concerned about his king side. And we don't have bishop f3.
Probably.
This looks pretty rough.
Yeah, the more I'm looking at it, the more I don't like it. Yeah, you can't even play knight e7 here because you lose the a7
No,
pawn.
that's because of, yeah, rook g1.
Oh, knight e7, rook g1, bishop e6 was my thought. And then if like queen takes f6, knight g6. But yeah, that doesn't work either.
So do you play bishop f5?
Knight e7, rook g1, queen b7 check.
Okay.
I mean, that's the best I can come up with. Something speculative because clearly the position's getting rough.
Yeah, then you just play rook g2.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. This position's nasty.
Take d.
We left it at knight c5.
Okay, he'll play like. Let's play rook a1. I imagine. Or rook takes a7.
Which game are you looking at?
Oh, did we switch?
Yeah.
Well, where are we at?
I'm looking at Sitharaman's game. I mean, White's king's definitely safer. That's the main thing I can evaluate in this position. But what is going on, I have no idea.
Yeah, there's like if rook d1. I guess black's playing queen f6.
rook c3.
Rook c3, knight d5.
Yeah. Then I was trying something like bishop takes f5, but it's unnecessarily speculative. I wanted rook c3 because of the potential of rook lifts. If I go bishop takes f5 right now, what does he do? He can't take with a knight because he loses the c-pawn.
Well, he goes rook takes, right?
If he goes rook takes, I go queen c4.
Queen c4. Okay. And queen f6.
Alright.
Well, he heard your rook lift idea and did you one better.
Yeah, right. +1. And the threat on e7 is still there.
Yeah, so I think queen f6, then you do have rook f4. So maybe that was his idea.
Yeah.
Although that might allow e5 then. So he's just going to do something else.
Yeah, now you start seeing the knight come into great squares again. Okay.
So he just drops on f5. You don't want to, but you're going to lose a lot of time.
Why not go bishop e4? Or that. Okay, so now we're starting to get... You can take where?
d6.
Do you really want to, though? Because queen c6, knight d4... It's...
Yeah, c4 is... Okay, but he's down a pawn, and he's got less activity.
Okay.
It's hard to get.
I would go knight g2 and knight f4.
Alright, knight g2, knight d4 is still up there.
If knight d4 after knight g2, I'll go queen takes h5.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, knight g2 is... looks okay. Let's see. Let's go back to Aturuzaga. And his opponent's been fighting the good fight. Let's go back to... let's see. We saw knight d5 and queen b6, and then tactics. Yes. And he slowly outplayed him. Wow. This still isn't trivial, though. Not so 1900, apparently.
Yeah, well, his blitz ratings are pretty high.
Oh, are they?
Profile. And his puzzle rush score, if that indicates anything, is like 44.
44.
Pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad.
That's definitely at the IMGM level.
Yeah.
So yeah, so tactically, his blitz is over 2400 as well, like 2450. Wow, King G1. No fear.
Yeah. The stones, man. Like, this is why I like watching him play. No fear.
He's completely winning here, though. So this is...
Yeah, it looks pretty okay now, and everything's covered. That's one of those sweet moves to play when you know it's good. But typically, King G1, like 99 times out of 100, it's gonna be like so bad there. Woo. Okay. He went knight G2, and then E5 was played to stop knight F4. Makes a lot of sense. So the question is, do you bail out here and go queen takes C6? And the answer is yes. So rook H6 here. was my first thought.
Which game?
We are on Sethram and Shimonov. And I'm thinking Rook H6, and I'm liking White's chances. Boom. Ask and ye shall receive.
The tally is how many times we get the moves right.
Yeah, I'm on like 3 out of like 12. Oh, wow, okay. If Rook takes, Knight F3 check, King moves, and then King G6, and the Rook is trapped.
Jeez. And
So,
yeah, condition at 1.
yep, this should put away Jan. And I would say it gets easier for Jan, but we got another 2,600 lined up for him too.
Yeah, so King G7, great find by Shimano.
King G7 was an excellent move, yeah. And a Turazaga won, so I think it's what, 2-4? Assuming that we got a forfeit win.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this looks really bad for White.
Well, maybe Black will just forget about Knight F5.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess Rook takes A4 is gonna take place pretty quick here. Oh.
Okay, so what if we go Rook D7, Black blocks with Rook F7, forgetting that F5?
Yeah, Rook B7 is worth a try.
Yeah, get some swindle there.
Rook B7, King G6 though. Or activate your worst piece. That makes a lot of sense too.
I think he's preparing Rook B7. Shimano's thoughts. Yeah, so I guess we go. Well, we can't lift our. Oh, we could lift our Rook because Rook D1 is not possible. But we have to be super careful not to just get mated. If we on the back range. So we go Rook C4 here and save our pawn. Like, what's the deal?
Rook C4, he'll double rooks.
Rook C4, double Rook, or Rook D2. Yeah, that doesn't look so good. In either case.
Yeah. If you go Rook C to C6.
Oh, Rook C4, they can't double Rook because there's still Knight F5.
Oh, yeah, that's a good find. So, Rook C4, Black finds some sort of high-class waiting move.
Well, like Rook D2 is still
Yeah,
a problem.
that looks good. Yeah, that's the move. So, it's looking not too sharp here with a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, King G2 I like. But, yeah, we did just lose the pawn.
Yeah, he had to make a move.
And if we play a move like Rook C6, we gotta, double down because Rook A1, we have, like, unstoppable mate there.
No, I feel like we may get lucky here. I just got a feeling. Let's see how.
Jazz is potentially okay. Okay, well, it still looks pretty bad, but
Ooh.
Some like heavy piece ending. It might not be losing.
Okay, he's got to play fast though, and he doesn't have time to think.
Right. Well, he can't take on G7. He has to trade rook. Or he can try that.
And lose immediately?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That sucks.
Well, yeah, we need to throw him to work some miracle here.
Yeah.
Knight E1. I guess this knight G5 as a threat. The knight can't leave F3 unless you're doing everything with tempo. So I guess if knight E1 we play like H1 or something.
Ooh. I mean, he found a plan where he could go all in at least. So.
Can you play knight H4 here and win? Oh, not quite, because you free up the G3 square.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just lucky. Well, knight E1. Oh, I guess.
King
Yeah,
F1.
so tricky.
Yeah, knight E1, King F1. Like this is it's something. I mean, he clearly used his time for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous position in the sense that, like, if knight G5, it's like you take with the D rook, and then as rook F1, other rook to F2 mate. So you're
Yeah, exactly.
okay. So
So King F1.
Uh-huh.
Your move. It's fine.
and you're threatening the knight on E1, and you're threatening knight G5 check.
Yeah, so you can play back knight F3 and reset.
So maybe because of the match situation, he's going to take a draw here.
Yeah, I would, especially with the time condition too. Yeah, I agree. I would just play like rook takes F2. Rook F takes F2. Yeah, alright, so he's doing that.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so we went 1.5 that round.
Oh, maybe he did miss.
Do what?
Maybe he did miss force checkmate. With knight takes H4. Oh no, never mind. No, that was probably. I think Shimada missed the force checkmate here.
Okay,
I
knight.
the position where he played knight E1.
Uh-huh.
He did play knight takes H4.
Okay, if knight takes H4 in that position, G takes.
Yeah, because I forgot that the G pawn. I thought you could go King G3, King takes G4, but the H pawn for black is still there. So
Yeah.
your king gets trapped.
But it's a draw this way, though.
Oh, you're right. That is also because you can shuffle G2.
Yeah. Etc.
Never mind. Someone in the chat can confused me.
Yeah, I read that too, and I was like, when I looked at that, it looked pretty repetition to me. But very nice save, because rolling back this position to, I would say even right here. I mean, the key moment was after the trade of queens. This rook h6, king g7 was a brilliant find by Shimanov. So maybe it's this position is the critical position. I think it should even be considered going knight e3 here. Because it's a heavy ending, black's king is still wide open, black is a pawn up, but there's a lot of chess there. Maybe the trade in the queens was where it went wrong. Yeah, knight e3. I don't think he can take. He's got to go like knight d4. Maybe I'm just completely misevaluating the position. It's not the first time. But we should be and Turzaga's ready for Lequang. He's calling it.
Yeah, that's the game I really want to see.
Yeah.
Black though, right?
He just had white, so yeah, he'll have black against Lequang.
Lequang also just had white.
Yeah, I never know how they do the pairings. I just know you get an equal number of whites and blacks.
Let me check real quick. I have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lequang does have white.
Lequang has white, got it. Okay.
Oh wait, never mind. No, Lequang might have black. It's actually kind of hard to understand how they're doing it on the...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about with the
I
pairings.
think Lequang has black.
Okay, is there a black pawn to the left of his name?
Yeah.
Okay, then he has black, yeah. Because the way they have it set up is the team on the left, they show the color of the person who is on the left. It's not like normal pairings with left-right for white and black. So yeah. Okay, well that's a solid. I mean, we could definitely use the dub right now. So let's review this Cats game because I feel like he was doing okay up until the pawn loss. So and seems like he held on about as well as you could hope. Went all out. And it didn't seem to go much further. So he went for it. That can be commended.
Yeah, in his flip at the end there, I mean, if he takes the rook, he still loses the H pawn, and it's down 2 pawns, which is a losing ending. Oh, so
yeah, I'm looking at taking the rook, and I mean, I feel like you got to speculate with like something like Queen D4.
Oh, yeah, anything was better than looking on the spot, I guess.
Because my idea was like, once we get here, if Queen takes B7, you have a draw by perpetual because of the H pawn. So I felt like he had to bail out and go for this this type of position.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe this is even holding, and if he'd had just a bit more time. So that time management really does factor in.
It does. It really, really does. Oh. Ugh.
Oh, it's your shirt?
Oh yeah, that Fortnite Forever. Yeah, we'll need a break here. That'd be nice. Big round. Let's see if anything else is going on. Caruana. Played D4. Nice positional dragon situation.
Yeah, I haven't seen a strong player play the dragon with the exception of Gawain Jones. Or maybe I'm thinking of the game where Carlson played it against Gawain.
Maybe. Yeah, this doesn't look appealing to play for black. All right, so we got Turazaga is live versus Laquang. Sethraman with white against Nizchuk. Turazaga is again doing a Turazaga things. A3 is his typical move here. And then knight B3. He likes these positions with like E4. He puts the bishops on E2, and then he eventually like plays F4 in a lot of these positions and plays aggressively. So yeah, this is one of his wheelhouse openings.
Okay. Yeah, this is like, if we can crush this round, then we have all the chances to stay in the match. Because, just having white unforced 1 into, and Cat can hopefully, pull out the winning instead board for. Even with black, I think he played something offbeat. Make the game more complicated. And then whatever Jan does, no matter what the result is, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. We definitely need to have a round with 3 here, and then we need to score 3 in the last round in order to take it. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, probably we're going to get shafted, which is my expectation that, we had technical difficulties, so we're not going to count it against either team. But our player was present, and I don't care if it's the first week. Everybody on this team, to my knowledge, has played and have been here and knows how the Pro League goes. So I'm going to be pissed if we didn't get the point for that first round, because you can't have our all-star player not play a game and then tell us it doesn't count. So, yeah. All right, let's bounce around and see how the other games are going. So Shimanov decided to play a bird against Jan. And Jan plays probably one of the worst things that you can play against the bird / Nimzo Larsen. White just gets a really, really easy game with stuff like Queen E1, Queen G3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to look at that game too much. All right. Went for a Philidor. Philidor is a good opening just for solidity's sake. Did he not need to play H6 though? Yeah.
Yeah, you can go back rook f8.
I don't know. I haven't studied this type of position. I feel like taking on f7 has got to be wrong just because of all the activity white's giving for two inactive pieces. And typically the two pieces are better. But it's like what's happening after like f4 in those positions. Like knight takes, rook takes, bishop takes, king takes, f4. And now
you probably would just go back king g8.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I feel like he got his opponent in a position where he's got to think. Now he just needs to not think too much and do the higher rated player thing here.
Yeah, so like h6, maybe a5, knight d5, bishop e6, all moves that come to mind.
Yeah, h6 is okay. Yeah, admit you're wrong and go back a5 or yeah, knight c5.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't prepare it. Just goes for it. I guess it's d4, you just play knight e6. So, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I like black now just because of his ability to go to e6 and potentially use the f4 d4 squares.
Yeah, bishop e6 seems pretty normal.
I don't know. I think I would keep the b.
Oh yeah?
I play knight e6 here and then see what's going on. Just because bishop e6, I don't know if there's like some b4 nonsense or something.
Well, you take on c4 in between.
And then queen takes?
And then knight. That was my only idea. I just didn't think that's why we'd go for it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see how Sitharaman and those chicks going. So everybody's playing the Caro-Kann. Got it.
Yeah, it's like a team. And let's share some team prep.
Yep. But clearly SP was ready and threw something different out there and got a game. But is it good? Black looks pretty freaking coordinated. Rook c1.
To rook c1, you said?
Yeah, rook c1 in this position. Well, I mean, I called it, but I was trying to get to why. Because, like, if you have a situation where I'm thinking about bishop takes c6 and knight d6, and you're just hitting both of his bishops and really trying to uncoordinate his position. So, like, if he plays a move like rook, well, he can't even play rook d8. Say rook c8, and I play bishop takes c6, rook takes, and then knight d6. Okay, in that case, he's got rook takes c1, and then bishop takes e5. So that doesn't quite work with rook c8, but it's one of those situations that if it was white's move and I had the ability to play bishop takes c6 and knight d6, I think that that position is very strong for white. Because after bishop takes e5, knight takes e5, e takes e5, or queen takes, rook takes, e takes, the c pawn hangs, and I feel like white's slightly better there. But I'm hanging the b2 pawn. So my calculation's trash. But rook c1 was definitely the move I guessed, and it still counts. So that's like 6 out of 20. Yeah, I don't know. And okay. This is one way to go, I guess, but isn't this just dead lost? Bishop e7, rook g3, king f8, queen h6, king e8, queen g7. And you lose the h pawn.
Sorry, I was just reading our Twitch chat here.
Uh-huh.
There's a guy from chess.com. He said, just to make sure that we knew there's a weekly best moment prize, all you need to do is tweet us with a clip from Twitch. I've never clipped on Twitch, but so we should just get really excited over something mundane and send it to them.
Yeah, I'll pass on that. It's completely fine because you got like the Pittsburgh team that has interns working on this, so I'll pass. They can go ahead and get the money to pay their interns with. So,
the Pittsburgh team or the chess team or both?
No, I know the Chess Bros have interns, but yeah, both teams
right.
do.
Gotcha. Forgot about who was on the Pittsburgh team.
So yeah, rook g3, king f8, queen h6, king e8, queen g7, and then rook f8, queen takes h7, and you're just winning a pawn. So this is pretty straightforward for white, and yeah, I'll honestly say I'm pretty frustrated that Jan fell for something that I teach my 1500s. Let's see. A lot of stuff happened in this game. I just want to go back.
Who we bet to?
I went to Ituruzaga, Laquang, and yeah, it's definitely nasty. But what's the point? Because if either rook to d8, you can't go c5 because if bishop takes b3 in between.
Well, then you'd take on b7, probably.
Okay, so let's say look, rook a to d8, c5, bishop takes b3, queen takes b3, bishop takes c5, okay, knight takes b7, and then rook b8.
Bishop takes b8.
Yeah, bishop takes or bishop takes c6. Okay, so c5 does work. I'm just hallucinating again because I got all the negative juju from just things keep
okay,
going
wait, hang on.
wrong. But
So, if knight takes b7, there's 95? What's going on here? Yeah, this is super messy. At the very least, you could play it. Okay.
a pawn in hand.
It's worth two in the bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, c6 is the problem.
Yeah, I think Iturzaga's got a solid, steady edge here. Good. Good to see. Let's see how Katz is doing. So, let's see. We last left the position.
I like his position.
He played knight e6 instead of bishop e6, and then went bishop b4, and got a great knight on f4.
Right, so traded knight f4 in the main position. Probably knight h4 has to be played. Knight e1 looks a little passive.
Yeah, knight h4 did make sense.
G5. Queen G5 doesn't really.
I don't know. I'm kind of worried about queen g5 because it's like.
So this. Well, he can't repeat with knight f3.
That's true. But one line I was looking at was queen g5, g3, knight takes h3, king h2. And after queen takes, I was worried about like rook d7, that type of nonsense. Huh.
Okay, does he trade and then play knight e6 and go into a marginally better ending?
I don't know.
But yeah, he doesn't want to go into a knight ending.
No, I mean this is completely fine for white optically.
He's gonna do it though, knight e6. Play rook d8.
Yeah.
Rook d7. He didn't have any other choice.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing it anyway. I mean, black is definitely better. That's the solid point here, but by how much? Hard to say. The e-pawn is very weak. Maybe he's got like some knight g5 type stuff.
White forces the rook off so the knight gets stranded on d8 for a couple turns while he has time to bring his king into e3 and check the e-pawn. I imagine he has to play rook d8 here. I don't know what else you would do.
Maybe rook b8 and knight g5, but after rook b8 he's got knight f3 to stop knight g5.
Yeah, and he has to go rook e to d8, I think, because otherwise white will just leave the rook there, and then with rook e to d8 you have king f8, king e8.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's still it's a difficult position for black, I feel like, to play very accurately because you're trying hard to beat the lower rated player, and the lower rated player is just playing good.
Yeah, I can see why they played him. b6, okay. He really wants to keep the rooks off, but rook b7 is possible for starts. Or that.
Okay, I think it's better to trade the rooks now because you can go e6 and then knight c7. So that may have been the game right there. But at the same time, white has the path to go knight f5, knight d6, knight c8.
Yeah, he will go probably knight f5. I agree.
Okay.
King f8.
The positive thing is, if he goes for that plan, trying to go after the a7 pawn, we'll get his a6 pawn in the meantime, and it's looking drawish. You got to take with the rook. Okay, knight d6, knight e6, knight c8, knight c7, knight takes, knight takes. He takes on c6 though, and you lose a pawn. And if c5, that's a game-losing blunder. So he's just got to take the worst position here. Does something like c4 just win, though? Like c4 and then b5.
Both looks up now.
Okay, knight c7 and you sit. You got like knight c7 if b5 takes. If he goes knight c8, you got to take on b5.
Yeah. Yeah, wait, so C4 a mistake then.
Maybe.
Why didn't he just pick up the pawn before?
I don't know. Maybe he had the same hallucination that I did. This was just winning, but
Oh, well, you can't play king c7.
yeah, you can't move your king.
So next c7, you gotta go like, oh yeah, you can't even get your king in. That's annoying.
Do you go b5 here and roll the dice? Just to get your king active? I think that's what he's thinking about. Because if knight c7, you're going to sit passively until his king comes all the way in, and you more than likely lose. If you go b5, at least you got activity. And your king, his king is still far away. I would use about 2 minutes thinking b5 and then go knight c7 because I can't see deep enough right now. Okay, so b5, cb5, cb5, knight b5, knight c7, knight takes a7, knight takes a6, b5, knight c5, and the e-pawn is weak. But I don't think you can take it. Does your king have time in that type of position to go over there? I think it does before his king gets over there. Maybe b5 is best here. Let's go to another game because this is getting depressing.
Yeah, let's go to
And Seth Rahman's position looks pretty good. Lots of weak pawns for black. Okay. Wow. I like rook e3 a lot. He's still got to worry about the h-pawn, and you don't have to worry about anything. You also have threats.
Nizhnik is up a pawn though.
Well, yeah. Yeah, he is.
So with that factoring in, I don't think Nizhnik can be worse.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, the Terezaga might.
It looks very drawish.
Well, Terezaga has a great position. Oh well, it's at least better though.
Yeah, it's definitely better. Yeah, he's got plans with a4, b5, so... Okay, I was like thinking it was...
Rook c1
Yeah.
or something.
Rook c1 definitely makes a lot of sense. That makes more sense. Is that a draw though? Rook takes, b5, pawn takes, rook takes, bishop takes. pawn takes, and then apparently, judging by how fast he played that, now you just play get your king in, rook c5. If rook c5, rook c8.
Does he play like f3?
Yeah, maybe f3 to go king f2.
I guess Black's about to develop their rook though, so we play. Yeah, so rook c5 makes some sense.
Yeah, rook c5, rook c8. Yeah, so okay, f3. At least we're understanding a little bit of what's happening in this one.
Well, yeah, rook c8. It's pretty automatic. d5. Also, if rook d5.
If rook where?
Well, Black can play rook d5 here,
Can he?
and then
I was thinking if rook c5, you can take.
if oh, you're right. Yeah, rook d5 was impossible.
Well, I mean, I feel like he didn't want to trade the rooks, but he's pretty willingly traded the rooks at this point, right? Because you can't.
So maybe.
Oh, that may be his idea. Rook c5 here, because if rook takes a4, you have rook c7.
That'd be really clever.
Dude, he's good at endgames. Like, I feel stupid. Like,
Okay, but rook c5, rook c6. Oh, but then you play rook b5.
yeah, rook b5 then.
Huh. That's nice. Another point for Brian.
Woo! Huh. Let's go back to Katz and see how he's doing, because I really like the way Terzagh is playing, and he went for.
Cat held it. Okay.
Oh, it's a.
Now Cat better. Now Cat's is better. Hang on, what? How did he do this?
Yeah, I got to go back and look at this because it looked dead lost for Black in my crappy, cheap endgame eyes. Okay.
He spent like 5 minutes and then doesn't. So I guess he worked some stuff up.
Or we were just hallucinating that if White at this point goes after the a7 pawn, Black can just take on b5. Yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
Wow. And you get to the key squares.
Here? Okay, but knight c4.
You give the e-pawn to get a passer, right?
Yeah, but f7 is also hanging.
Yeah, yeah. Those pawns are slower, I felt like, so...
Yeah, that's why I wanted f6 first. I guess the white king isn't enough time.
Yeah.
Or f5.
F5 makes a lot of sense. Get a passer going. His knight's tied down. Ours is as well, but our knight has a lot more dynamic potential. Take on e4 and play g5. It forces White to make a decision. Is g5 necessary? Okay, yeah, there it is. See, every now and then.
Yeah, I guess if knight c4, you get knight c6.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably winning. And now the knight's just a lot better. Okay, very nice. It looks like...
Yeah, I was just pessimistic about this position earlier. I mean, clearly it was just always better for Black. Just goes to show your frame of mind when looking at games and positions makes a difference.
Yeah. I'm not sure about how Sherman's doing. Looks pretty sketchy.
Yeah, I think Cats has the win at this point. The Knights have come off the board, and I don't see how the double pawns are going to be able to make a passer. So G5 here, and then your E-pawn runs.
Yeah, G5 and then, yeah.
Or King E6 first. King E6 is completely fine, because if H4, you can go G5 still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay, that one's definitely going to be a win. And we'll even the score for this round because Jan did lose to Shimanov. Okay, so
Yeah, fair enough.
let's see how. Yeah. Setherman's position.
Is the Terzaga not winning them? Looks pretty good.
All right, let me take a look at
It's
that.
opposite bishops, but it's 3 pawns.
3 pawns is 3 pawns. The connected passers have got to be good here. Come on, you beast.
As long as can Black just hold on to. Oh, there's no way. No, okay, so the king will come up to D6. That'll do it. It's gotta be winning.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. It's gotta be winning. Chess is stupid unless this is like completely winning.
Yes. Oh man, it might not be. What's going on here?
Bishop G5. At some point you can play H5.
H5 here, yeah.
Not here immediately, but yeah, save your bishop, get him on a good square, take your time, tempo the position. Like I would play, fast and do some bishop repetitions to pick up some time to think, and then eventually play H5. Like you got to be patient in these positions. Don't waste a good position. Technique.
Cat's just finished out pretty nicely.
Yeah, I'll bounce back over to that one. Very nice. Yeah, caught that at the right moment. Okay, so
And his friend says, wow, you won a game. That's
Ruthless. Ruthless. Oh, a Terzaga won! After Bishop G5, resignation. Alright, so sadly, looks like Setherman with 14 seconds isn't in the best shape. But it's a dynamically equal position, at least material-wise is equal. I don't know what's really going on, though. You don't really want to go King G2, but you have to. Bishop B7. Or that. That doesn't look good.
No, it's not.
Rook A1. What do you do? Resign?
H3, I don't know.
Okay. H3 loses. Rook takes G3.
King F2.
And Rook takes G7.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. A lot. That'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's playing on for momentum.
Yeah. That is painful. It's okay to resign. Yeah. Yeah. So what? Did they already win the match? They got 3 in the first round, 2 in this round. How many did they score in the second round?
2.5.
Yeah, so
If we sweep next round.
yeah, tough. Got to sweep.
Well, if Jan beats that other guy, not mathematically impossible, I think. And that's if we get the Gonzaga points though.
Yeah. All right. So we're waiting on this last one. Let's see if anything else is going on in the meantime. Let's pick Eric Hansen and see how he's playing. Yeah. I think White played himself in this position. Do you gotta go... Ooh, that sucks. I think you have to play E4 here. And then if Bishop H6, you have F4. In this case, you gotta go Queen takes E3. H4. Oh wow. That's a problem though, isn't it? Yeah, H4, H6. And you lose. H4, H6, Knight E4. Rook takes D5, Knight takes F6, and you got to go into the worst ending with the doubled F pawns. But yeah, I think what went wrong for White, in an English book I read once, when Black plays this early D5, takes is fine, but right here you're supposed to go Bishop E3. And the idea is that you get adequate compensation if they take on B2. And if they don't take on B2, they go B6. You actually have D4, and it's tactically very strong. So H4, H6 did happen, and I expect Knight E4. I mean, the B6 pawn is hanging, though. I mean, he could go Knight F3. But whoa, okay. Again, I'm misevaluating.
Yeah, Shetty's the board 4, right?
Do what?
Julia Shetty, he's their board 4?
I don't know, rating-wise, he's probably board 3.
Because I'm trying to remember from the fantasy.
Yeah, the fantasy thing. I can't remember.
I think he was the one I was like shocked that he was a board 4. I picked him because of that.
Yeah. No, he's definitely doing okay here. I think he's only slightly worse. He's taking a lot of time, though. All right.
Alright, here we go.
Yep. The real deal's happening. We got to go 4-0 right now. Or in the very least 3.5.
Right.
Okay, Jan's got white. Turzaga's got black. And he is again doing a Turzaga things against a solid London system. I can't decide. So many choices. Let's stick with Jan for a bit.
Okay.
He's getting a position that he has in the database, which never makes me feel good when you're playing against a team that does nothing but prep. So,
Yeah, I've played these positions a couple times because it's the recommendation of the Shandorf book
gotcha.
playing d4.
Uh-huh.
But I know that it's been played at a high level and that this line is very critical.
Yeah.
I don't remember the evaluation though of what's going on. But
Judging by the fact that Jan is thinking here on move 6, I don't know if he's too familiar with this position.
yeah, you should probably play like bishop d2. And then play like knight g3 or something.
I mean,
Or bishop d2, d5. The left. Yeah, or b1, knight c6.
yeah, rook b1, knight
no,
c6.
knight.
Yeah, knight a6.
Because otherwise d5. I hope he doesn't think he can trap the bishop because you can't.
Yeah. And that's what he's thinking about, probably. Yeah. You just got to play chess here.
Yeah, okay.
Bishop
D2 is
d2.
good.
Yeah, okay. So at least he's not like trying to go overboard in the position. Just get a game. Knight g3, bishop b2, play chess. All right.
Yeah.
Turzaga's got his typical type of position. We'll come back to that one. Let's see how Katz Shamanov is a clutch game for us. And it's a solid king pawn. Is it a Italian game or something?
Yeah, he must know what he's doing because he played d3, d4, which is unusual.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is just prep.
He is thinking.
That's interesting. Knight c5, forced. This was good for him then. Knight c5, bishop e3. Or even knight g5. Really interesting.
Can you go knight g5?
No, probably at the very least, it's probably knight e6.
Knight where?
I would never have guessed knight f7.
Yeah. Neither would anyone else.
Okay, you can play bishop g5 here. Probably. Isn't bishop g5 a normal kind of like conclusion? I guess it's bishop.
If bishop g5, bishop b6. Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't even have bishop takes queen, bishop takes c7. You got bishop takes f2 in between.
Bishop g5 is worth considering though, because if bishop e6, you go queen d3.
Yeah.
And then if knight takes e5,
Yeah.
bishop takes d8, knight takes d3, bishop takes d3.
Well, I like bishop g5 because if queen d7 would block the bishop, that'd be really, annoying for black. But if the bishop can get out tempo, then it's kind of a decent purpose.
Can it work though? Bishop g5. Oh, it's not queen d3 because knight takes e5 is probably a problem. It's probably queen b5.
Yeah, I guess he did decided against it. Fair enough. So,
I like white in this position. I think hopefully black got caught in prep. I mean, I don't know.
so we can't take on c7. I guess maybe that's getting greedy. We have to be a little careful about the d1 square. Yeah, we just don't open the d file early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Got to be careful of d1 stuff.
So knight d2.
I mean, the queen's covering on f1 right via f1 right now.
Oh, right. So you could go like bishop f4.
Bishop f4 is the first consideration. Yeah.
So you have to be a little careful, like bishop f4, queen d1, queen f1, bishop takes f2, king f2. Oh, you don't have queen forks.
Yeah, and you can't really like queen c2 check and pick up the b pawn or something because he's got queen e2.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
okay, I think we both got a point on that one with bishop f4.
Yeah.
And now black's got to be careful because if black's queen doesn't keep an eye on the d4 square, you got knight d4 and then you're just up the exchange.
Right. Well, you can always take an f2 if he's afraid.
All right, so I think we're doing okay in that one. Let's bounce over to Jan and see how he's doing. All right.
This is a mess.
It is, but it's a mess that I like. G5.
Yeah, g5 is super ambitious. So if knight takes, I guess you just go, you don't play queen f3, do you? Probably you go knight takes.
If knight takes, oh wow. Can you do something in between, like bishop takes a6 or something? Or if knight takes d5, and he can't take because the knight on a6.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, perfect. So if he takes on c3, I guess
That just improves the bishop. I don't know. I think g5 was just bad.
Oh yeah, if he goes bishop takes d3, bishop takes d3, knight takes d5, you got bishop g7, and you're hitting both d5 and a6. So yeah, this is looking pretty
And he still can't take on d5 because you always have bishop takes a6.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this looks really, really sketchy for black. Okay, that's a little bit more good news. Let's see how Aturzaga's doing. Looks like he's trapped his queen at first glance.
Yeah. He went for it. There's no way he didn't calculate that, though. Like just grabbing on b2. You have to check if you get your queen trapped, but there's no way. And like Nishnook's not taking on e2 right away either. It's not easy.
Now, Aturzaga, he's wicked good, so I wouldn't put it past him.
Okay, so what happens if pawn takes knight? What's the idea? Are we playing bishop takes f3?
I think so.
That's the idea. Huh. I will say I lost faith for a second, but now I feel...
Yeah, when you, like, rolling it back, it's like, we look at this position, queen takes b2, and then he goes rook d2, and it's like, crap. Okay. Now you pretty much have to play bishop takes f3.
There's also a knight e4. But I guess we're losing too much.
Yeah, knight e4 is not something I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, Aturzaga doesn't have any bad pieces. Well, as soon as he gets the bishop.
Yeah, except for the one piece that's really bad. He doesn't have any bad pieces.
I suppose they rook to b8.
You want to trade here?
No, I'm just trying to save my bishop, and I guess there's just rook b1.
Okay.
We have that d5.
Rook b8?
Yeah, but I don't believe it though. What's happening on d1? Or this, yeah, and then queen d2. Oh, I guess there's rook b1. Never mind. So, white's gonna play like g4 or something, or bishop g3.
Oh, all respect that Aturzaga absolutely went for it with black here, knowing he had to win. So, I mean, I don't feel bad regardless of the result in this game, and that's the reason he plays for us. Like, mass respect for him not having any fear. Like, that's all you can ever ask for in these situations. The nuts.
Materially, he's actually ahead.
Don't speak to me about material, beginner. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really tough position.
Well, you can always play d5 here. Oh, you can't with the rook on b8. You can play
Knight d7, and the idea of giving up some pawns in order to play rook b2 to cover the bishop.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Like knight d7, queen a7, rook b1 check, king f2, rook b2. And that still doesn't work though, because your knight on d7 is hit and your bishop's hit, so that's not it. Maybe you gotta, instead of knight d7, maybe you gotta go knight h5. It's really sketchy, but... Or maybe knight e8. I really don't like knight e8 though. Okay, if knight h5, queen a7, rook b1, king f2, rook b2.
You could play rook to d8 here. I guess king f2 is the threat, not queen e2. E2, I mean.
Whew. This is stupid. I like it. It's finally a stupid position that we're on the better part of the stupid. Let's bounce over to Setharam and Laquang because a lot is on that game too. Black's got a really solid, playable position. I mean, other than the mate threat. Okay.
We're on Cass's game.
I was looking at
Ramen.
yeah, Setharam and Laquang's game. I mean, it looks like Black's making it through the worst of it, and he's got Knight F4 as a threat. I don't see how White's bashing through here.
Yeah, you don't want to play a move like G3 because your rook on H3 looks stupid.
Right? I mean, I was looking at that. I'm like, G3 but...
Yeah, G3 and then you play like... Well, you have to be a little careful about... I guess you play like rook F7 and then queen D5. Play for some F5. Yeah, G3 won't happen. I don't know what I'm trying to analyze it.
Yeah, right? Like, if he plays G3, we're like, genius! Genius! Magnificent!
Yeah, rook F1 might happen.
Yeah, rook F1.
Because you're going to have some wicked tactics after like that F4.
You're going to go in with the sack back? Knight F4. Bishop,
F4.
Bishop takes, knight takes, rook takes, pawn takes. But what is he doing after that? I mean, I think just Black's better, right?
Do we have... No, I was thinking knight F4, bishop takes, knight takes, queen H6.
Okay.
Could be...
And then I'm going to take on H3.
and then knight takes F6.
Rook takes.
Yeah, running out of things. Rook takes.
I can sack back too. Dang. Okay. Let's see how... Oh, he got a knight D4. Cats.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to trick queens though.
Yeah, I didn't like Queen E2.
But yeah, what happens if queen takes D2, rook takes, knight takes D4, pawn takes, bishop takes?
Bishop
You
E3.
got rook D1 jumping in.
Yeah, you gotta go Bishop E3. Like Queen takes, Rook takes, Knight takes, Pawn takes, Bishop takes check, Bishop E3, Rook D1, King F2. And if...
But you can't play rook D1 there, your bishop's in the way, but you could play some sort of, I guess you can't really pin the bishop with rook E8 because you go king F2 and everything. Well, we're gonna see it. Rook takes maybe? Rook takes is stronger.
You gotta go Bishop E3.
Yeah, bishop E3, rook D1, king F2.
What about Rook E8? No, that doesn't work. You can just take and go King F1.
Right.
Uh-oh.
King F2 and then knight takes. Oh, you're right.
Nah, this is
A little
busted.
scary here.
Like, this is really bad when the knight and the bishop can't post up and protect your king. Black's going to be able to double rooks and hurt you pretty bad. Like even rook e8 here, it just sets up rook c2 and nastiness.
Rook c8. That's pretty scary. You probably have to play like rook d1. Because if you play bishop takes h5, you got d6.
Yeah, bishop e5.
You could play bishop e5.
I don't know, I kind of like rook d1 though. Rook d1, he'll go f6, and then we have less outs. And then rook d7,
Well, or you trade rook.
b5. I don't know.
If f6 there, you play rook d8, rook takes, bishop takes. So I guess you don't have bishop takes h5, so
Correct. So yeah, what I was looking at was like rook d1, f6, rook d7, if rook c2, knight d5. But then b5, and then the 2 for 1 over there is going to be...
Right up.
No,
You play
that's...
knight d5 here.
Knight d5.
Comes with a threat too.
Yeah, of course.
And then
Knight d5, king f8.
I guess you can't play bishop takes a5 there.
Rook c2.
Probably not. Rook d2.
Yeah, rook 8 to c2.
But then you have knight like e3.
Okay, that may hold. It's just really hard to weave. Knight d5 has been played. Okay.
I'm worried about other. No, king f8 seems pretty. Well. If you could try to play, bishop takes a5 wants to be like dubious. Because you got rook d5, but then there's knight d7. So there's rook e5 to be worried about. But then you've got bishop d3. So I guess you're just the pawn. So maybe you
Yeah, but I mean, I was worried about the double rooks problem.
Yeah, knight f4.
Knight f4, g5.
You're hitting the rook.
Yeah, that helps a lot. So
He loses the pawn back though. Okay.
that's the issue. He's forcing the trade. Or not. I feel like Katz is playing at a high level here. He's making the most out of his worst position. If only the B pawn didn't exist. Oh, Jan comes away with a big win. We haven't checked on him in a while. All right.
Oh, by checkmate.
Yep. Yeah, the extra piece always helps. Very, very nice. Excellent, Jan. Way to get us on the board.
Yeah, so basically Jan did exactly what he needed to when it came to it.
Yep. And what in the crap is happening with Laquang and Seth Rahman? Like, I look at the position and like a million things are happening, and I'm like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna roll it back to last I saw was this. Okay. And Something very similar happened to the line that we were calculating, except there was some queen takes a8 check in between. And now...
Oh, yeah, queen takes a8, that's clever.
What in the world? Is this a draw?
Well, hard to, well, unless the calling blunders queen f1.
Well, I mean, after queen f8, if you go... What do you have to do? King e5? If you go king e6, he's got queen c8.
Right. Yeah, it must just be perpetual then. And he'll probably take it considering the match situation. Unless black king runs into the...
Right? That's what I'm thinking. If you check, I'm going to run all the way to c1, laughing.
What if you have queen d8 though?
Queen where?
d8.
Uh-huh.
Go to e5, I'll take on c7. Or that.
He didn't even think about it. Oh my god, he doesn't know the match situation. Son of a...
I think, well, if we win all the other games, what would happen?
We gotta win... Yeah, we gotta win both of these in order to tie. And Katz is definitely losing. And we haven't looked at Aturazaga, but he looks dead lost too.
Oh yeah, g5 now.
Yeah.
Well, he can go down another pawn to play. Like knight h4, knight h5, I mean. Getting all the squares wrong, damn.
You had one job. And it's like all this, if we somehow had some kind of miracle, which just isn't going to happen here, we're still in a situation to where we don't know how they're going to count that first game where Aturazaga didn't even get to play, which is complete crap. And I love the fact that no one in the chess.com chat ever said anything.
There's a... Probably for the future, we should give my account mod status. There's a troll in our chat.
Oh, yeah?
So you get in there, you can give him the ban hammer.
I don't even know how to do that right now.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later.
Yeah. Yeah, Aturazaga's lost. Nothing there.
That's too bad.
Yep.
Yeah, well, yeah, Aturazaga's score was still good overall. He only falls to the wall in this one because he knew he had to.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% agree with that one.
Yeah, so Thurman needs to be evaluating because he dropped it to their board report. We'll have to rethink lineups. What makes sense?
Yeah, I might have to work on the lineup some because this just didn't do.
Yeah, because overall, the Thurman one ahead of the board.
He went.
He had 2 draws and 2 losses.
Yeah, when your board 1 goes 1 out of 4, that's a trash day. Yeah. Okay. I am going to do off